Do you use Google Chrome or Gmail as your default browser and email client on your iPhone or iPad? Well, I have news for you. Welcome to Ellen's Tips for iOS. I don't want you to miss any of the upcoming videos, so please hit the big red subscribe button below this video. Apple's mobile browsing system is so frustrating. If you open a web link within an email, if I tap on it, it immediately takes me in to Safari, which is especially irksome for users of the popular Google Chrome for iOS or any of the other popular iOS browsers. With iOS 14, you finally have a choice. Apple has now implemented the capability of changing your default browser and your mail client, so that when you click on a link and your default browser is Google Chrome, you won't have to worry that it will open in Safari. To set your default browser in iOS 14, you'll need to come down to the Settings app, and you'll notice that there's no section in your Settings app that allows you to change the default settings. So what you'll need to do here now is scroll down until you find your browser of choice. So I'm going to scroll down until I find Chrome. And then I'm going to tap on Chrome. And you'll notice that it says Default Browser App and Safari is listed. Tap on Safari. And here you will find all of the web browsers that are installed on your device at this time. If you only have two, you only see two. So right now, you see that Safari is checked off because it is the default browser. I personally like Google Chrome, so I am going to tap on Chrome. And now that becomes the default browser of choice. So any links that I click on in an email, instead of it opening up in Safari, it will now open up in Google Chrome. If at some point you want to switch back to Safari as your default browser, well, now you can come back into Safari. So I'm just going to scroll up to where the Apple apps are located, and I'm going to tap on Safari, and now you'll see Default Browser App. But prior to making the first change, you wouldn't have seen this in your Safari settings. There would be nothing there because Safari was the default browser. Now you can tap on Safari, tap on default browser, and change it back to Safari if you'd like to. But once you do that, if I come out of Safari, out of the settings of Safari, and go back in, you'll no longer see a list of those default browsers. You then must go to the browser of choice and change it within that browser. So that's how you change the default browser in iOS 14. Let's move on to changing the default mail app. The process for setting up the default mail client is the same as it was for setting up the web browser. So right now we are still in Safari, the Safari Settings app on the iPad. And now what we'll need to do is find our default mail app of choice. My personal preference is Spark Mail. So I'm going to scroll down, and these are listed in alphabetical order. So I'm just going to keep scrolling until I get down to Spark. And once I find Spark, there it is, I can tap on that, and on the right hand side you'll see default mail app, and right now it's Apple's mail app. If I tap on that, you'll see that I have 4 different mail apps listed there, and again, those will be the ones that you've downloaded onto your device. So maybe you only have 2, Apple Mail and maybe Yahoo Mail, but here's where you change the default app. So here I can come in, I prefer Spark, I'll tap on that, and now it's my default mail app. And just like in the previous part of the video, I'm going to scroll back up to where we see Apple's list of apps, And I, at this point, am going to tap into Mail. And when I do, again, you'll see the default app listed there. And if I tap on that, you'll see the 4 programs that I have listed. If I change that back to Apple Mail and tap outside of it and come back into Mail, that default section is gone. And then you would have to go back through the process of setting up your default Mail app once again. I hope you found this video helpful. Check out the description area for other info that you might find useful. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.